much-awaited Netflix film Extraction starring Chris Hemsworth in the lead role is here. The movie had me really excited for several reasons. The stunt coordinator Sam Hargrave, who has worked in films like Endgame, Infinity War, Ragnarok and Atomic Blonde, gets to sit in the director's chair and create an action film. The producers of the most popular MCU films backed this project. The film features some of the most talented Hindi film industry stars including Randeep Hooda and Pankaj Tripathi. I mean, what's there to not get excited about? The film, which is based on the graphic novel Dad, written by Andy Parks, focuses on Tyler Rake, a black market mercenary who takes up the case of rescuing the son of an imprisoned drug lord from Dhaka and bring him back to India. But how several factions including enemies, competitors, weapon dealers and the police won their piece of the pie by holding the child ransom, mainly following orders for a price, leads to Rake's mission getting 10 times more difficult. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether this movie is worth your time on Netflix or not. The underwhelming aspects. The human story and pumping the brakes. So whenever it comes to a pretty straightforward action film, many creators tend to create a backstory for the lead characters so that audiences can empathize with the characters and ultimately root for them. If I cite examples of badass action films in India, Force, the motivating factor for the lead is the death of his wife, and Rocky Handsome is the pure and earnest relationship he shares with a young girl. So due to the ghastly acts committed against the hero, we want the main characters to win. The point is that through Extraction, it gets its point across of what to eventually strive for in the end, that the child gets rescued. But the creators take the decision of pumping the brakes on the exhilarating screenplay and action to make you get to know who is Ovi and Tyler Rake. We get to know about the opulence in which Ovi lives but the loveless relationship he shares with his father, and flashbacks of what ifs for Tyler pertaining to his family. Where the intentions of the creators to make us know the main characters is sincere, it doesn't really do anything for the viewer's experience in the grand scheme of things other than provide a breather to the badass action we saw in the first hour of the film. The good. Cinematography. The camera work, color palette, and the way the city is captured in order to carry out the extraction will make you appreciate the technical brilliance of this film. The film is a great example of how, even with a simple story, if you have the most capable individuals behind the camera, it always turns into cinematic gold. Cinematographer Newton Thomas Sigel has done a phenomenal job in capturing the sense of anarchy that Tyler Rake has to deal with in Dhaka. The film presents an extremely saturated color palette, something similar to the way Black Hawk Down is visually presented. There is literally no time for a breather, and that makes the viewing experience 10 times more exciting. It is, however, the juxtaposition of the impeccable camera work and the action sequences that actually is the film's most impressive quality, which I will elaborate on more later. Authenticity. The biggest gripe that I have had with international films, especially when they are set in Southeast Asia, is the portrayal of the characters and their surroundings. So I was initially skeptical when I got to know the graphic novel Dad is getting transported from South America to Southeast Asia, but I have to commend the creators for brilliantly capturing the performances of Indians as well as Bangladeshis. You also have to realize this is coming from a brown guy who wants to see badasses in an international action thriller and not caricatures like outsourced that have been fed in the international public. This is a breath of fresh air. The characterization is not over the top, it's not gimmicky in any way, and it actually comes across as a legitimate representation of what would happen if two warring drug lords were in constant conflict with each other. The sense of organized chaos in the streets of Dhaka as the extraction is taking place is the perfect backdrop for the mission at hand. The performances. An aspect of the film that cannot be criticized according to me are the performances by the entire cast. Even though Pankaj Tripathi has a small appearance in this movie as the drug lord from Mumbai, whose son Ovi gets kidnapped, in that small sequence itself the man creates his magic. What an actor, man. David Harbour and Priyanshu, for the limited time that they appear on the screen, do a commendable job with the written material. Rudraksh Jaiswal as Ovi, making sense of all the madness around him, tries his best in all the twists and turns and the incessant running away from danger. Even though it's a bit off-putting at times to listen to the accent coming out of nowhere for a boy growing up in Mumbai, struggling to shout in Hindi, the boy generally looks petrified and dazed at the predicament that he finds himself in. The stars of the show undoubtedly are Randeep Hooda as Sajju and Chris Hemsworth as Tyler Rake. They possess the body language and demeanor that is perfect for soldiers and mercenaries respectively that are going to complete the mission at hand. The combat sequences that they share against each other and the several elements they try to eliminate so that Ovi makes it safe back home is simply captivating. Which brings me to the film's strongest quality. Action sequences. This is precisely the product that you would get when a capable action and stunt coordinator gets to sit on the director's chair. This movie is a treat for action fans. It is not for the faint-hearted or squeamish whatsoever. It's gory, it's bloody, and it's extremely entertaining. The film also, with its grand scale, possesses a sense of realism as the lead actors constantly get wounded on the brink of barely functioning. There are long shots with zero cuts so that the film can create an immersive experience of you following the characters through the alleys and the small apartment buildings in Dhaka. The combination of hand-to-hand combat with close to far-range shooting is so intricately designed. It's like the last sequence of Rocky Handsome on steroids, just that it carries on throughout the film. Two sequences will specifically stand out for you in this film, which includes Chris Hemsworth's character in a car chase sequence and moving through an apartment building with Ovi, only to get surprised at each corner and turn. I want to conclude by saying that this film is a very simple action film, at least from a story point of view. But how a simple concept can get elevated with the way it is showcased, a brilliant combination of intricate camera work and convoluted yet well planned out action choreography creates a visual experience that is really worth your time. Watch this for Chris Hemsworth and Randeep Hooda honestly just being badasses on screen. It's enjoyable, it's bloody, and despite pumping the brakes in the middle, it catches up to showcase what initially got you invested: more blood and more combat. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Extraction. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.